I mean, I think today's podcast has shown how valuable it is to be a member of the RTBU. But more generally, what would you say we need to do as a movement to expose people to the value of unionism and get union membership up? Because it's not like when I was a kid, you walk into a first year apprentice at Sydney County Council. If you join the union, it's one of the first questions I got. That culture's not there anymore. Just wanted to get your views on what we need to do as a movement going forward.
Yeah, look, we're probably not the best union to ask about it because we do still maintain quite high density in all of our industries. Um, but from a broader point of view, um, there's always, and it's going to sound like a cop out, but there's education. Like
Mm.
we have our kids going through school now who don't hear the word union once in their entire education. And I think that goes to a broader point. I think our syllabus in our schools is missing a civics education in this country, teaching people about how our governments work, how our civil society works. So that would help to begin with, because I think there's actually been the figures are still coming out on it, but there's been an uptick in union membership over the past couple of years,
Yes.
and that uptick's coming from young people. And that it may be the economic conditions that we're facing. It may be the rough end of the stick that young people have with housing, or just the rough ride that young people are getting in general. But they're certainly joining their unions in droves. So I hope we're seeing a turnaround there. I think it probably takes a generation to lose that cultural aspect of unionism. It probably takes a generation to get them back. So hopefully we can turn it around on the education piece. In terms of a practical way that unions can start attracting people back to them, I think the RTBU in particular has been looking very carefully at benefits that we can provide our members. And when I say benefits, I don't mean um, insurances or things like that, but benefits that union members get that are above and beyond what non-union members get. I mean, it was a legacy. I believe it was Howard that did it, where and it probably came before then, but when they outlawed bargaining fees and things like that, it took away this incentive of people to join unions, and people took it for granted that these pay rises would just come along, or these improvements in conditions would just come along. And I think unions probably went along with the ride a little bit too much.
Yep.
I think it's time for unions to take back that mantle of the organisations that help people and improve conditions, but people need to understand that it's the union that's doing that. And there needs to be, I think, even if it's just a small piece, a tangible benefit for workers who are members of the union over workers who aren't members of unions.